Gosh, I wonder if Steve's arteries look like this. Delicious. Hi, Jody here. How are you guys? It's been a long time. We had such a great holiday. Well, you know, a lot had happened. Steve had an angioplasty, so there was that. The doctor said that Steve's diet was too rich, and I stopped him there and I said, oh my God, thank you so much. I thought that was a compliment. And he said, oh no, it's too rich in butter and cheese and fat and complex carbs, and we really need to scale that back. When the doctor was showing me the x-rays, he said, there's layers. And I said, layers, you know, like a casserole. The doctor didn't seem to think that was too funny. And neither did Steve's mom, who also was still not speaking to me. But you know, I'm gonna work through that with a casserole. And so what I learned is that Steve does need to start eating a little bit healthier. So for the first time ever, I am going to do a light, healthy casserole. So today I am going to whip up a healthy cheddar broccoli casserole. Okay, so I want to start by sharing how we're going to make this delicious casserole light without losing the flavor. Okay, so we're going to start with some light mayo. Next, I've got the 2% milk sharp cheddar. I think that that pretty much makes it 98% less fat. If I'm doing my math correctly, which I'm pretty sure I am. So we are saving a lot of calories there. Then I've got the full fat Philadelphia cream cheese because, you know, I was gonna go light here, but we're saving so much with these light things that I wanted to keep that balance somewhere. It's all about balance, you know, everything in moderation. You know, I don't wanna shock Steve's system because I've heard that if you just drastically take away those calories, bad things can happen. So really, I'm just looking out for Steve. So I'm gonna start by buttering my baking dish. We're not using light butter here, so I'm just gonna use less butter. Because as you know, usually I like to use copious amounts of butter and cheese and all that, so I'm just gonna lighten that load here. Also, light butter, the flavor's just not right, some of those light things. So normally I would coat about 4 times, so I'm just gonna coat twice. Twice around here. You hear that, Dr. Finley? Only 2 times around here. I don't need your judgmental stares. I don't need your opinion. I heard you. It looks great. 2 scoops around. Now we're gonna move on to the filling. I got my bowl, my whisk. I have some onions here, can of cream of mushroom soup, just 1 egg. Normally I do 2, but I cut back and just did 1. And then we've got some light mayo. So let's get this whipped up. I'm just gonna add about 1/3 of this jar. And we're gonna add the whole can of cream of mushroom soup. They do have light cream of mushroom, but I feel like you really need the full flavor here. Look at that jiggle. Oh man. I could never go light on that. I'm gonna add the egg. Look at that beautiful yolk. And then 1/4 cup of chopped onions. I bought the pre-dice, it's so much easier, and you know, I have a tendency to cry when I'm chopping. Now we're gonna whisk this, and you know, whisking creates some air and fluff in this, so even in the whisking, I'm creating a lighter dish. All right, look at that. Isn't that pretty? You know, my great Aunt Martha used to just call this Midwest pudding, and she would just eat this right then and there. She wouldn't even make it to the casserole. Next up, the star of this show, frozen broccoli. Okay, let's stir that in. So next we're gonna add our seasonings. We're gonna season it to your liking. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then pepper. We'll just do a little shake here and there. The pepper, I think, helps keep things moving, which is great for the digestive system and probably for the heart. Arteries, you need things to move. If things aren't moving, they're getting stuck. Then you're dying. Gonna add just a little paprika for, mostly for color, but a little bit of flavor. Okay, mix those in. And last, we're gonna add the cheese. As you know, I'm gonna use the full fat cream cheese because I just personally don't believe in light cream cheese. I am using the 2% here though, so you know, we are saving 98%. So this is an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. We only need 4 ounces. You can warm this up in the microwave to make it easier to add. I'm gonna just dice it up a little bit. Mix that in. And that cheese is gonna melt in the oven after we put it in, okay? Oh yeah, that sure looks light to me. It's even a finer cut, lighter. I think when it's cut thinner, it's probably lighter too. Oh wow, this is just bursting with color. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put this in my pre-buttered pan. It even sounds lighter than most of my casseroles. Steve would probably eat half of this. Maybe that's what the doctor needs to focus on, is the amount of casserole and not the fat in the casserole. Maybe Steve just needs a quarter instead of a half. I mean, that's just like a snack, really, especially when it's so thin. I don't know, I think he should probably eat the half. Poor guy, he'd be hungry. I mean, I don't want him to die of a heart attack, but I don't want him to die of hunger either. Oh God, what a conundrum. We're gonna go ahead and top this with some Japanese breadcrumbs. Now you can just add this as much as you like. I like a good amount of breadcrumb on top. Okay. You know, sometimes what's lacking in flavor and fat and calories can be made up for in texture. So that's what we did here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. Alexa, set the timer for 45 minutes.
45 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, is 310 a bad cholesterol level?
Yes, that is very bad.
All right, time to take this thing out of the oven. Would you look at that crust? Just a light golden brown, beautiful, perfect. If you would like a little bit more golden brown, you can just put that broiler on top, cook it under there for about a minute, and you should get a nice crisp. But in keeping with the theme of today's episode, I tried to keep that color light, you know, for Steve. Go, Steve! Okay, let's have a look at this. So it is thin, but it looks like that cheese did its job to bring everything together. So while it is thin, it is dense. It definitely feels light. Okay, let's try it out. This is like cream cheese with a side of cheese. Light cheese. Oh yeah, Steve will probably eat half of this in one sitting. But it's okay, because he can. Because it's 98% less fat in here. I mean, flavor, 13. Presentation, I'm gonna give that a 6. It came out perfectly, but just because I don't have the amount of layers that I usually like to show off the casserole, you know, it looks a little flat. Well, there you have it. If you're looking to clear up your arteries or drop a couple of pounds, here's a casserole for you. The healthy broccoli and cheese casserole. Did I just make a vegetarian casserole? I said I would never do that. At least it's not vegan.